I almost don't like mana rocks anymore. Teferi gets rid of the One Ring. Could just play the One Ring. I'm going to try without mana rocks. Could be wrong. Certainly not destroying anything, but... What is condemn? I can't remember. Very attacking creature in the bottom. I kind of like condemn. I actually kind of like that card. I do have the One Ring now, so Enlightened Tutor maybe has text on it. I don't know about the 5-minute extra turns. Like, what are... Okay. We have the internet. Curse of Silence. What is that? Oh. I actually don't like Narset. I do? The heck is that? Andrew's choosing... Oh, no need for that. Cryptic Command? Oh. Oh. I wish. It wouldn't surprise me if every single list had mana rocks. Would not surprise me. I say that, and then the very first... Oh, wait, no, I lied. Mana rock. There's only one mana rock in this list. It feels so random. Maze Mind's Tome? That's wild. What do you got? What are your ideas? What do you got over here? What's going on over here? Thundies? Thundy Undies? Oh, that's in the game? When did that happen? When did this happen? I think this is good. I'm pretty sure this is good. I haven't played with it, but I like it. I didn't know it was an arena. Typical. Mystic Confluence seems a bit out there. Seam Rip. Another ideal one. I don't necessarily need Cleansing Nova. Sunfall is also maybe questionable. Well, I'm all too familiar with this. All too familiar. All right. I don't think I've played Teferi in the permanent ranked brawl thing, but I did play it in the like event ranked thing that was 3 or 4 months ago. So still pretty fresh in the memory. This is actually that list. I just uploaded it and then I edited it a bit to accommodate the new cards. I don't know. The ban list might have also just been different or something, but Force of Will wasn't in here. So it is now. The 1 mana removal could be lacking here. That might be something I have to work on. And I'm just playing without mana rocks because I just want to do that. I was looking at 15 Teferi lists, and a lot of them have mana rocks. The 2 mana rocks, at least. I don't. The 2 mana rocks. One of them actually had 1 mana rock on turn 2, and I don't see the point of just having 1. Like, you kind of really want all of them or none of them, in my opinion, at least. I don't think you're blitzing for a sweeper on turn 3 in ranked that much. Maybe you are, but I think you're fine just waiting a turn to cast it. You tapping out for a mana rock isn't free, right? So if you cast Arcane Signet on turn 2 and you don't have like specifically Mana Tithe or something, you did not leave up Counterspell or anything like that. So there is a window for your opponent to do something on that turn, and then you have to deal with that thing while also probably leaving up mana to deal with everything else. Mana rocks just aren't necessarily free. It's kind of the same. Actually, no, I'd say it's different. Katara wants to be played on turn 2, really, and a mana rock being played on turn 2 is annoying for Katara unless it's like specifically Sapphire Medallion. So maybe that's actually not the same. But I'm still going to play Staff of Completion. It draws cards. It does proliferate. I'm playing lands I don't normally ever like, which are just these. They're probably free enough at this point, especially with half your counterspells not costing mana. So it's fine, but I still don't really like these. There's 2 of them. I'm not playing like Strip Mine or anything. But I think that's about it. Commandeer could be steep here, but if you just need to do it, there you go. The 1 ring can be dealt with Teferi, so you don't die to it, which is really nice. This card I did not know was in the game. I did craft it. I think it is pretty good. I think. I don't know. We'll see. I think I like it. I can't say I don't like it. It feels like a second Memory Lapse, kind of. Sometimes it's better than that. Maybe sometimes it's worse than that. But that's Teferi for you. And this is ranked. So let's send that. I already have a deck named this. Oh, that's funny. All right, there you go. Also, I'll just say this really quick because it keeps popping up in my comment section on YouTube. Someone keeps wanting me to play this card. I'll just throw this all here right now. I don't think you can play Doomsday in Historic Brawl. Singleton 100 card formats aren't super Doomsday friendly. It's extremely unreliable to have like the cards you want the Doomsday pile to be there in the deck still when you go to cast it. You only have 1 copy of Dark Ritual. You only have 1 copy of Thassa's Oracle, although I think a lot of Doomsday decks only play 1 anyways. But if we were to just talk through it, you have Tainted Pact instead, right, for your Thassa's Oracle. There are demonic tutor effects to find this, especially in ranked. There's Emergent Ultimatum, which you could just ramp into that and almost always win. There's sort of redundancy with Laboratory Maniac 2, Thassa's Oracle. You know, you got Thought Scour to mill yourself. You can set it all up. Again, this is like demonic tutor, Brainstorm. Like this pile of things just seems to be the most Doomsday centric thing in this format to me. I think people play it in Timeless, which is like this Magic Arena's version of Vintage, and Doomsday does see play there, so I suppose it's not impossible here, but anytime you would see a Doomsday in this format, you're just going to see Tainted Pact instead in that exact spot, because it's just way more reliable, and you just can't set up a good 5. Really, it's just hard to set up a good 5. You also don't necessarily win when you do this on that turn unless you have like Omniscience in play. That's why I put that here, because it kind of feels like you want to play Omniscience when you Doomsday because you want to like not lose the game upon passing the turn unless you somehow win the same turn you Doomsday. So it seems like you want something like this in play. And if you want something like this in play, then you're not going to be Doomsdaying after you do that. You're going to be doing something else that actually wins the game more reliably there. So I don't think this is a thing in Magic Arena outside of Timeless. I've never seen anyone try it. Maybe it will. I'm pretty sure this is the first time Doomsday's been in the game, like just now with the Marvel set. So people will probably, you know, do something. But as of now, I've yet to. I'm not convinced that it's a thing in Singleton 100 card format in arenas. Excuse me, arena specifically. Even normal EDH, it can be kind of difficult to ever like Doomsday against 3 players, right? It's CEDH. I don't think you Doomsday ever. If that's a good example. All right. Had my fill of that explanation there. I have no idea what this is. Which one does it choose? How does it decide which commander when you have a partner to keep? I have a mana drain and I'm on the play, so it is the Bruce Tarl Timna. All right. Well, as per usual, it's always safe to assume that partner commanders are playing CEDH lists, which I kind of don't agree with every card they play. They like only play cards up to 3 mana value, and then they just stop. Like the super tight 1, 2, 3 drop type thing. Please tell me I have the Surveil. Thank you. Always scares me when I don't know if I have the Surveil land. Are you gonna stifle the Surveil land? Dang it. This is a good card here, right? I mean, it can be. It's the kind of thing this hand doesn't have, and now it does. I will not counter a 2-drop with Mana Drain. Although I probably could. Yeah, I can. Okay, never mind. I can Mana Drain a 2-drop. I can Mana Drain a 2-drop. Do. I don't think you can play a 2-drop here, though. Although maybe you just do it anyways and accept the loss and move on with your life. Could be the case. Could be the case. This game is almost completely over. We shall see. This is one reason I don't like playing Mana Drain, because it makes games not really... It's like playing Ragavan. Alright, can you deal with it? Can you deal with it? You have to deal with this, or the game's over. You can't really let me untap with Teferi, that's kind of always a loss. What does this do? Line double team. You know what? I'm just gonna let that resolve. I'm just straight up gonna let that resolve. I'm just gonna let it resolve, and then I'm gonna put it on top of my opponent's deck. Or somewhere. I don't know, was it second from the top? I probably saved the counterspell for anything that actually deals with Teferi, which apparently is nothing. Opponent did not concede, and I commend them greatly for that. I've displayed no counterspell. Doesn't interact with Teferi. No, don't care. Doesn't interact with Teferi. Don't care. I don't necessarily need Teferi to ultimate. I just need to draw infinite cards with it. I can cycle the farmland, or I can just not cycle the farmland. Okay. Do I just minus here? No, that doesn't... No, why do I care? I'm just plussing. I'm just drowning in cards here. Opponent appears to have something. Don't really know what it could be. But you're going to need more than Dolthy Voidwalker to win. Alright, I will now counter this. This can also get rid of Dolthy Voidwalker if they sack it to use that counter spell. Nope, we're not doing that. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna minus it. Maybe I should have done this last turn, but I'm gonna do it now. Do I have an... I do. I will put Mana Drain on top of my deck. Does this always have a void counter? It does. Okay. What is this 2-mana card we refuse to play? Timna? Okay. Okay, maybe it's a 1-mana card we refuse to play? I mean, it's not a road. I am willing to... Wait, no, let that get out of the way. Opponent continuously referring to the hand and then doing nothing is interesting. If you erode Teferi, I just let it happen. I think that... I mean, I could mana tile it, but... You just recast Teferi. Opponent doesn't actually know about Mana Drain because the Memory Deluge may or may not have taken it. What is my opponent, like, so puzzled on? What is puzzling here? I don't know. I wish I did. I can do this, or I can just do this. Or I could just do nothing. Kinda don't like doing nothing. What is a 1/1 really doing, though? Alright, we'll just pass. I feel like there's not... I can't help myself. I'm making a 1/1. I can't help myself. Okay, apparently the 1/1 was too much. Of all the things I did, not the Mana Drain, but the 1/1. I don't know what they were so, like, hung up on. It's also an interesting pile of creatures here, but, you know, it still follows the logic that this deck probably doesn't play any card that costs more than 4. I don't think I've ever seen a card cost more than 3. I've never seen a card cost more than 3 out of, like, a partner commander thing, and seems to be the case here, you know. Tarl excluded. Oh, sweet. Wolverine. I like Wolverine. Honestly, I like any red-green beatdown deck. Sylvan Veto looks kind of sketch, but we do have this. No Mana Dork. Maybe it doesn't have to play one. Does a Chrome Mox instead? Mox never. Okay. Suppose I will, because I have so many fetch lands. We can, yeah. Instead of just playing a tap land in turn 1, maybe they have like green Thoughtseize. Okay, yeah, this seems like a really, really good match. Why am I gold? Oh, the reset just happened. This seems like a really good matchup. They milled over a land, so it wasn't that's not what they were looking for. I don't know. Maybe they just felt it was slowly sinking in that it's just not a good matchup. I don't know. Not what you want to see when you're playing Wolverine. Man, I love Teferi. Ugh. I also like Elminster. Elminster's really cool as a commander. Because he can't play Teferi on paper. Which I still think is a dumb rule. I feel like you really should be able to play any Planeswalker as a commander in normal EDH. Seems arbitrary. There's not even any busted Planeswalkers as commanders. Like, none of them are that crazy. Jason Mind Sculptor can be kind of annoying, I guess, but like, not really. In a world where you could play Katara, I don't think that's true. Or Baral, yeah, it's like, there's plenty of people who wouldn't ever consider playing Jace the Mind Sculptor just because you could. Do I deal with this? 1 into 3 is how I lose the game, but I do have Force Spike, so I guess that's fine. I do have Force Spike. Okay. Well, now I feel way less bad about not dealing with the Llanowar Elves. Crucible of Worlds. I don't think I like that one. I don't think I like that one. So, land... Ancient Tomb is a card with text on it. Let's get rid of this so they can't play their commander. And now they have 3 cards in their hand. They play a tap land. I play Ancient Tomb to leave up Memory Spaghetti. Even though it spoils Teferi as the thing next turn. Sure. Alright, opponent is not at all interested in playing their commander without this. Well, I guess there's an argument that they could never actually play their commander this turn anyways with a second tap land. That in another land? No, Mana Leak might do something. It also might not. Well, nothing else to do. I might have already won this. It's very close. Because of the Farewell. Should I just give him the good game after I cast Farewell? They also lose the lands in their graveyard. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I would say good game. Game's over. Oh, they didn't concede. Oh no, now I look like I'm BMing. No. You can't have any cards. No cards for you. Do 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 do. Oh, this is just cyberbullying. This is just cyberbullying at this point, really. Oh, hey, look, a ton of cards I could use. I don't think my hand is ever beatable. My opponent could have Cavern of Souls. They're not beating this. You know what? You can have that. You can have that card. That's fine. You can do that. That's fine. You can't beat the ultimate. I mean, it's over. I mean, it's literally over. They can't do anything. The green stifle? No, alright, didn't think so. Oh, man. Ooh. Ooh. Tragic. Sorry, opponent. That was over. I could have probably had the same exact outcome even without the Ancient Tomb as well. I didn't have to... I mean, there's 3 things I did that game I didn't have to do. But the game still is over. Game's always over. I like that commander, though. Oh, Finn. I don't like that commander. I am actually on the play, though. I'm actually on the play. Hold on. No, turn 1 Delighted Halfling, right? It's just a... What is that? Another creature. Disappear. Okay. Guess I reprieve that. I don't think I sink into stupor, so... Leaf Alchemist. Okay. Oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Tragic. Oh, yeah, let's take that card. Alright, well, if they swing with everything, they lose. Ignores Teferi? Oh, ignores Teferi. Oh, I guess they want to put a poison counter on me. Alright, is this another just say good game immediately? Destroy all tapped creatures. I win. Sure. Okay, well, that's not gonna cut it in the long run. I'll just remand that. Not even gonna read it. Do I get to play Jace here? I think I do. It can probably help me find the white card as well. Actually, I want to mess up my... Well... No. Brainstorm is too enticing. Put back that and... Preordain? Alright, I have Demolition Field now. I will not make a move on the Inkmoth Nexus, though. Let's just hardcast this. I didn't even read the card, but doesn't matter. I think this game is over. Yep. Okay. It's another game where my opponent like kept playing after they lost their board in a deck that really has some struggling recovery game. It's been a while since I've seen Finn, though. I don't know if Finn is a thing anymore. There's a lot of good cards. I mean, the fact that your stuff has Death Touch, though, means you just absolutely dunk on Katara, and you don't even really need Finn to do that. So, like, Katara just doesn't enjoy you with all these Death Touch creatures, because you're going to poke them to death, and they can't really do anything about it, like, ever. But apart from that, I don't know. Like, does Yuriko... Maybe Yuriko's also annoying, just simply having Death Touch creatures. But Teferi does not care. But you don't even need to poison your opponent. You just swing in those two matchups. This deck is strong. Well, I mean, it's Teferi. So, and I've also cast Mana Drain twice, so like we can kind of rule those games out. I don't think that's the deck. That's just Mana Drain being stupid. This is the benefit of having no mana rocks, is your hands are way better. You can just take your time. Almost wish I was on the play with, or on the draw here. I'm sure we'll get there. We mustn't panic. Oh, my opponent has Gemstone, apparently? I think that's what Gemstone is, when you already mulliganed away a card and you still have stuff to do. Which means they have 4 cards in their hand? Jeez. Okay. One of them hopefully isn't Delighted Halfling. Or Strip Mine. Okay, I'd probably lose Counterspell. Oh no, you probably take Reprieve because I don't have a blue source. But if I ever draw a blue source, you're going to really wish you took something else. Okay. I don't think this is a crazy keep. I don't think so. You are extremely... the most likely thing to ever draw is a blue source at any given time. And I only need one. Do we expect our opponent to Nashi in response to spells? Do I care? Unfortunately, I think I do care. Yeah, that's kind of tragic. Alright, Brainstorm. Letting me cycle the Reprieve seems a bit reckless to me. Okay. That seems a little reckless. Alright. I mean, they can sorcery speed Nashi and get an Inquisition, which probably is the right thing to do. Let's see if my opponent's experienced. They are. They are experienced enough to know to do that. They can cast it on my draw step, which is what you should do, right? Yeah. And then I let it happen. Not interested in doing anything about it. I can cast my commander and then try to untap with it. It's somewhat reliable that I do. We have a window here. I think I should take it. This is why I put the counterspell. Actually, okay, they didn't take counterspell. Interesting. Let me just quadruple check. Yeah, I can't word that. And then we draw. And then we do things. So blue source and blue source? Oh, I don't have another blue source, so... Ancient Tomb? It's not like my life total matters. Alright, you need to have, like, something exceptionally scary here. That's not it. I'm gonna play this one? No, I'm gonna play this one. Please be a land. I think it's a land here. Yep, it is a land. I was right. And then they cast the thingy, trying to find grief, maybe? Not quite sure. They should have done this first. Finding force of will, I believe. Would have been the idea. I drew a verge. Okay, let's do this. And now we're where we want to be. So they know about 2 counterspells, tragically. This is sort of why I kept the wash away. Okay, untap with Teferi. That probably means total lights out, but we shall see. I'll counter that. Yeah, I'll counter that. I can Tails in the trigger as well. What can I... Oh, I can Tails in my own Teferi trigger. That's why that's happening. Yeah, we're going to Tails in this. Actually, maybe I don't. I didn't play a land yet. I didn't play a land yet, so I can do this instead. Okay. Any problems in the graveyard? Currently, no. Keeping a card, don't like that. I'm honestly surprised at this idea. Don't. This is actually nuts. I mean, they have to if there's nothing to... Huh. I don't know. I don't quite like that, but I'm gonna just take the time to do this here. It costs 4 now, but I'm fine with that. My hand is good. Okay, well that's a reason to plus Teferi first. That was a mistake. A rather significant mistake as well, I will admit. That was definitely a mistake. I could have split up. I care more about Teferi's activation. My opponent probably should as well. No, they don't. This is fair. This is fair. Not unreasonable. Apparently there's a 1 or 0. Don't like that. Hopefully it's a destroy all untapped creatures. Hopefully it's a 1-mana card and not like Force of Will or something. Could be Solitude. I kind of doubt that though. That doesn't do anything on its own. We'll never react to that. Alright, you know what time it is, random 1-1. You know what time it is. Endurance? What? Okay. They have to do it now. Oh, no, I guess they don't actually have to do it now. Never mind. It doesn't shuffle. Okay, let's put back you, and I think this still has text on it. So I'll draw that. I think that has text on it still. Do I have 2 or more basics? Huh. I don't think I do. No, I don't. That's actually kind of funny. Let's get rid of this now. I don't want to deal with that card ever. And then I'll play this, and no reason to tap it now. I highly doubt attacking has any relevance. Field of the Dead. Kind of annoying. Very slow, though, at 1 land a turn. Especially if the only thing they do is play a land and have a land, that's it, then it's not that great. There must be mana-based or land-based ramp in this deck. I don't really like Field of the Dead. They can tap my 1/1s and swing with a zombie? I guess. Opponent has to make a move, and what is that move that matters? Tasha's for... Yeah, they have to Tasha's here. They have to Tasha's. They have to Nashi into Tasha, or the double proliferate wins the game. I don't know what could ever feasibly go wrong here. So let's find out together. That kind of helped, I think. They should also probably stop the staff No, you stop the Teferi. I don't care. I mean, it's not like I'm not doing this. I win if it resolves, so. Of course. Opponent had literally the best possible card. Sweet. Apparently the first instance of card draw made them lose. It's always right to Jace before. I know if I get the ultimate, and I have an Exile 3, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There's nothing my opponent has that I care to Exile 3 of. I don't need to hit lands. There's just very little that will ever make it matter, right? So I shouldn't have to worry about it. The first trigger is just going to hit Field of the Dead, which honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, my opponent has no cards in their hand, and if they draw a land, they didn't draw a relevant spell and they made a zombie, so like it just doesn't matter. I should just Jace first, find more interaction that might help, and then just go for the ultimate. But sweet. Sweet. They had the best possible card, too. They had Tails End. Which they already had at Tails End with the Toshas and Nashi. So they already actually had it. No white mana. I mean, there's Brainstorm. No Shuffle, though. But maybe this game could be an example of when you should Brainstorm, because I see people do it wrong way too often. I can Daze turn 1 because I might just miss a land drop, but I'm not scared of that card. Let's just play this. I can just hard cast Daze. It matter. Might not. Let's just Daze that. Oh, maybe not. Dang it. I was kind of hoping they would fight over that. It'd be kind of funny. Alright. I'm not going to Brainstorm until I miss a land drop. Could have Brainstormed to leave up a Reprieve, technically. Alright, I wouldn't counter that anyways. Okay. Still no white mana. There will be no white mana for a while. Could just lose because of that. We shall see. Can I cast Treasure Cruise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 6. They also have... Yeah, we might just... I'm just going to concede. I didn't find a white source, and I'm Brainstorm locked. So I'm going to concede. The next 2 cards... I literally cannot cast a spell for at least 3 turns, and I know about something like Force of Will. So I'm not going to waste my time. If I didn't know about the free counter spell, I probably would have tried. But it's, I just got Brainstorm locked. Wouldn't say it's a bad matchup, though. This might be a bad matchup. Yep, go figure. I was gonna say if they literally have that exact card, opponent's chances of winning go up quite significantly this early in the game. Pretty sure you just take the Mana Tithe. Don't know how you don't take the Mana Tithe. Nope, alright. Weird. Let's preordain. Oh, we now know about a free spell. This is not what I'm looking for, and honestly, neither is that. It's not what I'm looking for here. They have a free spell and I don't, and they know my hand, so I am significantly behind. I could just try to cast that. It gives me something to do. Right? It doesn't have to resolve, so it just gives me something to do. As long as it isn't mana drain, it's kind of fine. If it gets countered, I don't necessarily need it. Opponent might not even care about it, we'll see. It's not like it's bad. Or good. Looks like it's Daze? No. I got a Force of Negation out of their hand. I'm actually quite surprised at that. I'm not going to lie to you. Actually very surprised about that. Huh. Interesting. So, let's play this as a land because my opponent knows about it. Well, this is why I said they should take the Mana Tithe, but they did not take the Mana Tithe. This exact moment is why I think they should have. They took the Fierce Guardian. I don't care if this gets countered. Opponent probably has to counter it too, which is kind of funny. Oh wow, they don't. Brainstorm or Get Lost? I think I'd just take the Brainstorm, actually, yeah. And then play another land and pass. Is going to be no Teferi for quite a while, honestly. This is a spot where if you cast Teferi and it like didn't resolve, you would probably just lose immediately. So if anyone needed to see an example of that, don't just willy-nilly it. This is also another reason why I don't necessarily think mana rocks are always right. Just going for Teferi is not always right. Still think there might be a daze because they looked at their lands. Apparently there's an instant and they're not willing to cast it, but they had to think about it. They could cast their commander. It's a lot less painful when theirs doesn't work as opposed to mine. Correct? Let's knock that baby back to the hand, shall we? Oh, really? I mean, okay. I said it was less painful if theirs didn't work. Maybe they're just like in a position where like they have nothing. So this is the same logic, right? My opponent's 5-mana sorcery speed commander didn't work, and then because of that, it's just so incredibly backbreaking. The game's over. But honestly, because they cast it, I would have thought there's something that made them feel like the game wasn't over. Like if they have Force of Will, they're still fine. I don't really know what they... I don't know. Like, you just have no answer to Teferi and you don't want to bluff? If they just sit here and bluff, we're chilling. Right? That's what... Yeah, I think they should have just bluffed. If this was so important that you lose when it doesn't work, you should just not cast it. But even regardless, this commander is a lot... It has a better time of not working than mine. Just like the command zone part of the deck. Well, I'm saying that, but I can easily win without Teferi. But interesting. Also, I didn't actually put it to the command zone, so it just costs 5 again. And I really do not believe I'm ever casting my commander next turn anyways. Maybe with double this, it's fine. I can like... No, I don't even have double. I only have one of them. And if it's Force of Will, it doesn't stop it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Sure. I said something and then my opponent did that thing and lost because of that thing. But hey, like I said, the Thoughtseize probably wanted to take the Mana Tithe, and it wound up probably mattering. So, let that be a lesson to you. I was probably right about that. Also, I'm on the draw against Eureka with that hand. I'm not going to waste my time. I guess I could have mulliganed once and looked. Could have mulliganed once. I don't know, play versus draw is kind of stupid in that matchup. I think Eureka and Katara are the very depressing matchups, kind of. There's something you can maybe do about that. That doesn't ruin your other matchups, maybe? I don't know. Probably not. Eshki, is this the... Well, I was going to say, is it the good one, but I don't think either of them are that particularly good. It's the cool one. I guess I'll risk it with the peak. I'll peek in response to a spell, which will always happen this turn. Okay, that just has to be dealt with, so doesn't. Oh wait, you can't counter that. This spell can't be countered. All right, let's just peek. Bone Crusher, Wash Away, Goif. All right. The game is on pause until I deal with that, because that card is stupid. What does this do? Opponent did not play a 4-drop there. I think that sort of put me back in the game. I think they really wanted to play Yavimaya and play a 4-drop. I honestly don't understand. Counter target spell. Maybe they just really didn't want to... But I wasn't going into 5 mana, though. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Or you can just have a 1 mana cryptic command and nothing I do matters. That works too. You got it. Split up. Does that change my about to concede logic? Suppose it does. Still almost assuredly losing this game, though. Opponent has, like, the most ideal cards. Yep. Alright, it's over. Veil of Summer, Vexing Squelcher. Opponent is ready for the stupid blue cards. I don't like Veil of Summer, ever, but Squelcher's alright, I suppose. Again, the specific hate cards are... They have to be, like, really, really, really good. And those ones are, I suppose, but some matchups, they're just 100% dead. Just not a fan of that kind of thing. If it can be avoided. Alright, this is TNT. I haven't seen a lot of TNT, which is honestly kind of surprising. This might only be like the second time I've seen TNT. It's kind of crazy. Let's get rid of Solitude here. Yeah. Does it play more than 3 mana cards? I don't think so. Anything's possible, though. It is a blue-green deck. Opponent had to think really hard about their first land drop. So I guess that means it isn't a mana dork. Crop rotation? I don't know. Solitude? I don't know. Mana Tithe? Oh, okay. Sure. They thought long and hard about an untapped Temple Garden, didn't use it, and then got stifled into oblivion. Good old strip mine. Look at that. Too easy. TNT. Haven't seen that in a minute. Man, it's crazy how, like, obscenely soft these decks are to, oh, man. To, whatchamacallit? Farewell. Like, decks like this is just so soft to farewell, it's crazy. So, that's not a real card. Let's get rid of you, shall we? Opponent did not lead on a 1-drop. Looks like they may have had a 1-drop and didn't use it. Was it like Cropperization? I don't. Okay. I don't care about Cavern this game. I'm not gonna Mystical Tutor on my upkeep ever. Opponent gets Strip Mine instead. Oh, okay. I suppose that means I play this land. No, I play this. No, wait. I play that. Okay. I'm sure they use the Strip Mine, otherwise that doesn't make a lot of sense. So. Rumble, sure. Okay, well, if their commander resolves, I lose the game. And it currently will resolve, and I'm not going to get Wash Away on my upkeep, or do I have to? No, I guess I don't have to. Okay. That's not a card. I mean, this is a land, but it's colorless. Alright, I can just definitely lose here. Opponent does not go for the... Okay, that's why. Alright, game is over. You got it. Good old Strip Mine. On the play with Strip Mine. Auto win. Well, I hadn't lost, and then I got 2 losses in a row. I don't know what this is. What is this? Yawgmoth? What? Okay. I don't think I've seen that. I don't think so. Is there a wait, what? Why? That is okay. It doesn't have any green cards. Yawgmoth really enjoys the green cards. Without the green cards, it seems like Sephiroth is so much better, but you know, I'm excited to find out. I don't know everything. It's literally doing the most Sephiroth thing, which is that card, and then I play yep, play that. I don't even know if I like Snapcaster Mage. I haven't cast it yet. Okay. Persist is -1/-1. It's not undying. Interesting. I can steal the free. Wait, what is free there? Does anyone know what's free in a mono black deck? Snuff out? No, they can't. There's no snuff out target, so I don't actually know what's going on there. I really do enjoy the idea of stealing this freebooter. So I think I'm going to do that. Although if they just sacrifice it, I'm kind of screwed, and that's probably not worth it. What is free for a black deck there? What is free for a black deck? Okay, I don't care about Flute. It's not a Teferi game, really, anyways. I don't know what else they could name. It's just Teferi, yeah. It can't be activated, so it costing more doesn't quite matter. Flare? The black flare? Okay, so I suppose that is merit in dealing with that then. Suppose that's fair. Alright. Yeah, not very concerned about the disruptor flute. What do I do on my opponent's end step? I could get rid of the disruptor flute. I really just don't find myself caring about it. Which could be wrong. Well, you did say flare, which is an astute observation. I shall get rid of... If it is flare, then I can't just play Teferi. Flare would have never hit my radar. Look at that. I have chat advantage. Oh no. Is that cheating? I feel like that's cheating. You're helping me cheat. Shouldn't do that. You're supposed to let me stay in the dark. Oh, I want to steal this freebooter so bad. Or if it is flare and I steal the freebooter, what does my opponent do? Oh, but it's so much better to just draw two, though. Like, it's just always better to draw two, isn't it? Like, it's always better to draw two. So, of course, my opponent literally top-decked Cavernous Souls this turn. They literally top-decked Cavernous Souls. I'm gonna bounce this to their hand, then? And then I'll put the... I'll put this on top of their deck. No, I want that on top of their deck. And hopefully they just sack it to this, what I believe is a flare. They don't. So with days, Teferi always works through every card. There's nothing my opponent can do through days. Not that I'm thinking of. So I think we just win. I think? I could be... full of myself on that logic, but... Yawgmoth does get to resolve, which I cannot do anything about, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have anything in play. So what does it matter? I don't think they can play Yawgmoth. They have to do something else. Okay, yeah. If there isn't another answer, yeah. Good looks on the flare. I really wasn't thinking about that card. I really wasn't. It's an interesting card to play because Yawgmoth wants to get rid of your creatures, so it's kind of weird to like sack them in a different way. But this game would have been different if I had stolen this, but I would have drawn less cards. I don't know. There was a lot of interesting things. I didn't think the flute mattered, but it's kind of funny. The things I said I didn't care about were the things I interacted with the most. But to be fair, my opponent wasn't really doing anything other than that, so I guess that's not too surprising, but I didn't need to have Teferi to play this game. I did have, like, just things to do outside of Teferi, but that Cavernous Souls, I suppose, does pivot what I can expect to be concerned about. I mean, this was far and away the best possible top deck, right? I mean, they needed a fourth land, and it was literally Cavernous Souls, but yeah, Flare. Okay, cool game. Given the the circumstances. I like it. Oh, Teferi, my beloved. My beloved. to think I committed adultery with Davriel for a year. And to think there's video evidence of it too. Tragic. Okay, this isn't Ragavan, so I have no idea what's going on. Why are we playing this and not Ragavan? Zergo can't block creatures of more than 2. This is literally a directly, strictly worse version of Ragavan. That is exciting. Sorry, opponent. Thinking is hard for me sometimes. Yep. That's just Ragavan, but without text. So let's play Staff of Completion. And I suppose just pass. Of course, I play against this when I have, like, the Omega tier ramp nuts. I could have, like, Chrome Boxed Force of Will and just hardcast this card. Okay, I don't think they're winning by doing nothing. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe I didn't have to draw there, but, well, it's too late. What could you ever do here that's a problem? Okay, that's not what I expected. This is why paying 4 life to draw was maybe not worth it, but too late. This is definitely an I'm going to ignore Teferi completely situation. So... was this Pyro? No, I can't. Fire Blast? Nope, can't be that. Yep. Chrome Mox, get rid of Witch Enchanter. Pass, untap these. Alright, this is definitely why I did not want to draw a card with the staff. Who knows? Maybe we're still fine. Oh, we're not ignoring Teferi? Oh. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this at all. I think you should go into my face. That's honestly kind of crazy. I guess if Strangle is the only... Yeah, you can't strangle my face, so fair. Gets +1/+0? Okay. No? Wait. Can't be countered? Oh, come on. What kind of stupid card is that? Really? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of my face with that nonsense. Okay, well. Teferi. And... Blind Plus. See if I can win. Nope. Alright. Yep, I should not have paid 4 life to draw a card. That was a game-losing mistake. And this goofy, uncounterable burn spell, I guess, also just won the game. You got it. I think that's a free game I just threw with the pay for no reason. Paid for literally no reason and lost. Actually, if it wasn't, yeah, it was either that or the random, specifically anti-Teferi burn spell that my opponent's playing for some reason. I think we're fine. So typical. Can't be countered burn spell against a blue-white deck. Always nice. Land, pass. Probably get rid of change the equation at some point with Chrome Mox, but probably not anytime soon. This feels like a 50-50 matchup. Unless there's something one of us brings to the table that's pretty nutty. Opponent is first to make a significant move. Fountain Port is a problem, but I do have Demolition Field, so I guess it really isn't a problem. Pearl Medallion is really weird. I'm not going to interact with Pearl Medallion. You can have it. Celestial Colonnade. Alright, another goofy one. A goofy one for the books. Let's grab an island. I've never envisioned a world where you're ever actually using Celestial Colonnade. So, let's play Farmland and pass. They can't cast Teferi unless they have Force of Will or something. Play Fetch Land. Opponent has well-prepared meta cards. I'll tell you that much. Really? You just send Teferi? Come on. Who sends Teferi here? Like, what do you... What? I'm bothered. You're never sending Teferi there. I refuse to believe anyone ever cast Teferi there. Yeah, you've got to be... Alright, whatever. That's just stupid. You don't know how to play the game. I'm upset. You fool. Oh, I hate you. No one plays Teferi there. No one plays Teferi there. Oh, come on. Oh, where's the punish, dude? Come on. I'm so upset. Where's the punish? Please. Oh, not like that. God. No one plays Teferi like that. What are you doing? Oh, I don't like you. Okay, well, I didn't find my 1 mana removal spell. Play versus draw, I lose. Eureka's on the play. I lose a game. Turn 0 win. Turn 0 win. I'm going to report that Teferi player. I'm actually going to report him. I have the sheet up right here on my other monitor. Filling it out. No one plays Teferi there. That's literally... Pretty sure it's against the law. Not even just against the rules. Okay. Let's play that. No one plays Teferi there. No one does it. Artisan's Talent. I'm gonna counter that. Brainstorm. Let's just not play the game. I think I'd play this instead of Brainstorm. Seek does not shuffle. Commandeer could actually do something. And I kind of like it more than just a random preordain. So that's probably fine. Let's cast Brainstorm. Let's put back you at this point, and also you, because I'm not casting you, at least right now. I could have commandeered that, although I lose a lot of cards in my hand. So. They could have opted into Ral again, so they chose not to do that. Interesting. Maybe they just have a different way of doing it? If I commandeer that, I lose my entire universe. Maybe not a good idea. I can put Get Lost on top of my deck, but I really want to draw this Treasure Cruise, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If Ponder helps me, it doesn't shuffle. Fragment Reality? Does that help me? I think it kind of does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. This isn't the worst thing to happen for me. Okay, they just put it on a different card. My opponent is smart, which is unfortunate for us. I can Mystical Tutor. Still kind of nothing. Yeah, this is all just kind of add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that help? Currently, not really. Alright, I'm soft to, well, a whole bunch of stuff, honestly. So. Opponent wins every coin flip they've done so far. Continually winning every coin flip so far. Finally lost a coin flip. This is where the third blue card would have been ideal, essentially. I don't know how it isn't just Mizzix's Mastery. That's Mizzix's Mastery. Yep. You got it. Alright, well. That just happened. I feel like that was a pretty easy matchup. I just didn't draw what I needed. I could have navigated that game different. I think I could have won. Actually, could I have won that? There's definitely something I could have done to win that game. There's definitely something somewhere I could have won that, you know. So that's kind of tragic. Kinda tragic. It's alright, I'll just blame chat. Worked out last time. Lorien revealed. I actually haven't used this yet. Which one is this? This is the draw for each type you have. One has the best possible turn 1, but they're not on the play. So I can actually play the game. I think I'm just going to play the Witch Enchanter tapped. I don't have to. I don't have to. Plays Mox Amber and then doesn't use it. Okay. Nothing's different from last turn, so... Behold. 1/1s. I don't think I can play the game how I'd like to, so I'm just going to pass. Maybe didn't even have to shock. Nah, it's fine. I don't think this game is about damage. Opponent is struggling severely with the 1/1. Good sign. Game would be radically different if my opponent was on the play. Radically different. Narset. I don't like that. Don't like that. Let's use this to stop that, because they can't fight back. To still probably never time warping, even though all it would really do is draw a card. I don't know why we suddenly slowed down so much. I don't know what has changed. Do I lose if I time warp and it doesn't work? I'd say I kind of almost instantly lose. Yeah, probably. So. Opponent has to do something before me. Summon Fenrir. Gets a land and then it dies. Okay. Weird card. I guess it counts for 2 with loot. Sure. I'd like to hit a land, but I'd also like to... No, I think I want to hit a land. No, I don't care. I'm just passing. I stifled the summon Fenrir. I'm an idiot. I targeted the wrong card. Yeah, I stifled the wrong I'm an idiot. Oh my goodness. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Ugh. Eldritch Evolution? What is that doing? I have no idea. Maybe we're still fine, despite my mistake. Play this. Play or grab 2 lands or condemn. I'm just gonna grab 2 lands. Well, that's a reason why I didn't want to grab 2 lands, but not much to do about it now. Hullbreaker Horror, yep. You got it. Cool. Whatever. Whatever. Alright, at least the Talesyn didn't cost me the game. It didn't end up mattering. So there's that, I guess. It's funny, the cards I've lost to are like goofy things I would never really expect people to play or would advise playing. So it's kind of funny that those are the things winning against me. But the things I expect to play against, I think I'm have been fairly good against, so that's a good sign. That is an unlicensed hearse my opponent didn't want. Without a mana dork, play versus draw is a lot less significant. Is that triple fetch land? Fetch, fetch, fetch. Okay. Wait, what are you doing? Oh, sure. I got confused for a second. Oh, they were casting Nashi. Like, wait a minute, that's not how the game works. What is that? 7 cards? Okay. I don't care if this actually, I'd probably have to go to discard if this resolves, so. I don't think the game is about these cards, but my opponent willing to counter one of them. I don't think the game is really about those cards, though. Okay. Okay. Do you have cards in your hand that aren't just cantrips? Cantrip, cantrip, cantrip. Is there anything else going on up there? Whole lot of cantripping. Wilderness Reclamation. Well, certainly lose if that resolves, so. I don't even know if I can play Teferi. I can try, it just seems a little... I think the One Ring is about the same as Teferi here? Yeah. There's definitely a counter spell, and they didn't want to fight, so... That might be a good draw. I don't even know if Nashi is something my opponent's particularly interested in casting right now. Doesn't look like it. I don't think I'm gonna Mystical Tutor, so... Sure. Well, they have infinite fetch lands. And I'll pass. How do I get out of this? Just tap the One Ring 10 times? Suppose that is something I can do. That just worked. I kind of want the Force of Will in my hand, because that's just such a nightmare to interact with. Can I please draw a land? Of course not. Let's play nothing. That's great. I don't think this is a Jace matchup. They actually got rid of that wayward spaghetti thingy. So now it's shuffled away. Really, really, really wanted to hit a land. So kind of tragic. Not dead. And still good. One ring, drawing a bunch. Opponent has nothing. That is massive. Alright, so... land, please. And stop tapping my islands. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, let's go to discard and then start actually thinking more about our life choices later. Oh, please, please deal with the One Ring. Please. Please deal with the One Ring for me. That'd be great. Probably actually should not deal with the One Ring. Get rid of you and Jace and Brainstorm. They just naturally redrew that. Of course they did. Suppose that tracks. Alright, I have to deal with the One Ring basically next turn. I will draw right now with it. I have a lot of permission, so I'm gonna just do this now. Opponent has probably been sandbagging counterspells specifically for this. So let's start the counter war, shall we? And get rid of you. Not casting that. Okay. Let's make sure we don't lose to the One Ring. And this is exactly why I did what I did with the One Ring on that specific turn instead of my commander for this exact reason. So I can get to a position like this. I mean, I think the game's over now. We shall see. I don't know how you come out of this. Anything's possible. Certainly learned that. Sure. I'm just floating mana because it looks like they're interested in doing something. Suppose not. Apparently no more fetchable lands, which is kind of funny. Actually kind of crazy. Well, maybe it's not that crazy. Now my opponent's maybe asking how I'm interested in winning, and I suppose that's a fair enough question. I will cast this, get rid of probably the sweeper. Although Mana Leak probably sucks here. Nah, I'm going to get rid of the board wipe. If that costs me the game, then I'll just blame chat. It's been working so far. Okay. Mana Leak looking pretty premium here. Psychic Frog. Wow. Yeah, sure. Like that. That's a good one here. That's actually a very good one. I think they'll put it on top. Pretty good. I don't think I'm ever playing the One Ring again. I can just do this. I suppose I will. My opponent played this card earlier in the game, and here I am playing it. Let's shore up our weaknesses and just take a spot removal spell. Again, I think this game is kind of over. It feels over. I mean, I can just cast this. I don't even have to fight over it. Suppose I will. There's an argument to literally not casting it, so. Asawara, my commander, which I already activated, so. Sure. And let's not panic on that. And then play the One Ring. Hope they counter it. I really hope they counter it. Dang it. I was hoping they'd counter it. Ugh, opponent. Supposed to counter my cards. Supposed to counter my cards. Subtlety is also a lethal threat, so they have to also deal with that. 6. Counter this, maybe? It's kind of folly to counter this, but might as well, right? I'm tapped out. I wouldn't fight over it, no matter what. Okay. I forgot I had the Teferi on tap. I could have maybe got that through the days. That's funny. That doesn't matter. Okay. Can I play the Treasure Cruise? I can't. Should I play the Treasure Cruise? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't interact with my graveyard. I mean, I have Snapcaster. I'm not worried about Snapcaster. Not worried about Snapcaster. Peak is hilarious here. What have you been doing this whole game, opponent? What do you got over there? What's going on over there? It's like opponent. Opponent, no. After the One Ring drawing 5 cards, Teferi drawing 5 cards, Subtlety doing 25 damage, my opponent decided that Peak was where they have to concede. That's so funny. I don't know what they could have in their hand, but alright. This is a kind of a good example as to why I probably say this so much, but you know, I'm going to keep repeating myself. Hammer it home. I have to deal with, actually before I get into that, I have to deal with this. The damage with the ring is too much, even if the fetch lands run out of targets, which surprisingly happened sooner than I would have thought. This is just too much damage and can kill me with the One Ring. My opponent was correct to ignore the One Ring, but this is the same opponent who was interested in countering card draw spells, and in a control matchup, or control versus control, I don't agree really with countering card draw spells unless someone shows weakness and they look like they're missing a land drop, or they look like they're tapping out because they need a counter spell and they don't have one. But my opponent did use answers into card draw, and look where the game went. They did not capitalize on the, I suppose I'd call it tempo, I would consider it tempo when both players are playing a really slow control game, so anything remotely fast looks like tempo, like stock up. Um, in terms of resource advantage, I mean, and trying to pivot into closing the game out with, let's say, a 4-4 hitting me, they're just going to struggle to. If I ever get to a point like this, all of the counter spells you had that stopped my memory deluge or the countering the where'd it go? Countering the dig through time makes sense, right? It's irrelevant at that point. I probably could have got it through. It doesn't matter. But you gotta know when to pick your battles. And I'm still just winning with subtlety, which is actually just going to kill my opponent. They do have Frog infinitely flying and probably could pitch 2 cards to it. But, I mean, I have that gummed up very well as well. I have a slight advantage, I'd say, with my commander being a planeswalker and theirs being a creature. Theirs is easier to deal with, but theirs does create broken cards. Like, it can create an instant speed version of a sorcery speed spell. They have access to this. I probably would have lost if this resolved. There was certainly things that mattered here, but like early in the game, my opponent just had cantrip, counterspell, cantrip, counterspell, cantrip, counterspell. It's like they're trying to get cards with their card draw and countering my card draw. And the thing outside of that variable is my counterspells. I'm not casting them. You can have all the card draw in the world. If I just have a handful of counterspells, it doesn't matter what your final 7 looks like. Probably the first game we played where Reliquary Tower would have been pretty good. It would have maybe turned off these 2 though, but no, I'm not playing Reliquary Tower anyways. Just something to think about. Probably not happening. Probably not happening. Oh no, 1 spell away from my quest. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we had a chunk of losses in the middle. They're all like right next to each other. And for the most part, they were fairly fast losses, too. Tasha, okay. Tasha kind of decks me out with the ultimate. Actually, I think it always decks me out with the ultimate, so a bit spooky there. I'm in no rush to play Ponder. Tasha's cool. What is the... I'm trying to think of what the black problem is here. I don't know. What are the black problems? Well, Thoughtseize is one of them. Looks like they don't have it, though. Dark Ritual? I'm going to say it's Dark Ritual. Maybe it isn't. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's not Dark Ritual. This probably just hits a counter... Most of the time, this is going to hit a counter spell. Doesn't hit anything, though, realistically. Yep, that's what I want. Let's... I think we can play that this turn. And playing this as a land is probably going to come up. But this is just kind of turning this card into a counter spell, which this deck I'm sure is full of counters anyways. It's not that crazy. It's just turning it into a counter spell. Opposition agent. Alright, well I lose if that happens, so... Let's get you. And then Ancient Tomb. No, I want a surprise with that. Let's find a counter spell maybe? Okay, that's not at all what I wanted. Blue Source Tasha, we're in trouble. Blue Source. No Tasha. Ergoith. Sure. All in. This is why I held the Ancient Tomb, because my opponent may get surprised with the Teferi a turn faster. I actually don't have a lights out hand if I untap with it, tragically. Serum Snare? What? No? Interesting. Looks like there's a Tail's End. Yeah, there's a Tail's End. That's why they did that. Okay, that makes sense. I'm not going to tap my lands because I think this is Tail's End. Yeah, alright. They have Tail's End in their hand or this. It's funny, Tasha is still kind of a problem. Now they're probably hoping I just go to Ultimate and the Tail's End will hit the Ultimate. I also drew a really good card, so life is a lot easier. Actually, that was probably the best card in my deck to draw, because now I can hardcast Commandeer. So, looking good. Opponent is fallen farther and farther behind here. Now they're absolutely banking on the Ultimate for the Tail's End. Unfortunately for my opponent, I'm wise to their tricks. Their sorcery, if you will. Oh, you gotta do something. Okay, they don't have anything. Alright. Yeah, they have Tail's End, which they know if they cast whatever spell they're trying to cast here to stop me from stealing their commander, then they're tapped off of Tail's End. Could they have tapped better? That into that, and then... If they tap the Tasha's for that, 4... I think what they... I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I can't see the card. It's always face down, but either this is Tail's End, or they have one in their hand. Most likely, they stole my Tail's End, but unfortunately for the opponent, the game is going to hold priority on every activation of Teferi, so I know what it is. And that's the... If I fight over this and priority is not held, when I fight here, I now know your answer to Teferi is something that only targets Teferi and not another spell, which in this case is just Tail's End. It could technically be Wash Away, but that would imply this goes to the command zone. But yeah, there's no reason to ultimate it. Honestly, there's no reason to ultimate it, even if they don't have Tail's End. So, okay. Unfortunate for the opponent. The game gave me the read, and again, there's no incentive to actually ultimate. I'm winning with infinite pluses. My opponent's only avenue to victory in that game is probably just blitz ultimate Tasha and mill me out. Because would it mill me out? How many creatures do I have? 4. I have 4 creatures. It actually does not. It does not mill me out when it activates the first time. It's probably really bad. They still most likely get a Snapcaster Mage, but certainly beatable, right? Tasha notably does not draw cards like Teferi does, so I will just have that advantage. Teferi is notably a lot scarier. But Tasha, I think, has been put in Hell Queue for a while now, even though I think it's kind of not really up there in non-ranked. But I don't know. All right, anyways, let's talk about the deck. So not that much different from last time. The free counterspells, for some reason, I can't remember how many there were last time I played Teferi, but again, Force of Will was not in that deck. It is here. I'm pretty sure it was just a different ban list of that event, but I don't know. I like everything this deck does. It's where I am far and away the most comfortable playing. I love control decks. They're just so fun. I enjoy them. Everything they do is great to me, especially when blue is really up there in ranked more so than just like everything being green. That being said, you still kind of feel like you're not ever going to win ever if your opponent is on the play with Delighted Halfling, right? So there's still problems. It's funny, in the mirror, my opponent said, I don't care about anything. I'm just casting Teferi. And it worked. That upset me. That upset me actually really deeply. I'm not going to lie. I was excited for a Teferi matchup. I didn't have a counterspell, and they're just like, windmill slam it. And they did. And then they actually had Lotus Field. So they just had Omniscience with Teferi. It's like, all right, yeah, you got it. There's no world where I ever do that. My opponent did it, and I got totally hosed. Oh, that bothered me so much, but it is what it is. The control mirror is a little less exciting than like a control matchup where you're both slightly different, because in the mirror it's like, they had the better counter spells, even though your deck lists have maybe 10 different cards between them, something like that. I don't really care at all about Lotus. Is it called Lotus Field? Yeah, I think it is actually called Lotus Field. I don't really at all care about it. My opponent was also playing Celestial Colonnade. This is not a Celestial Colonnade format. Yeah, I'm sorry, it just isn't. You're not tapping all that mana to swing with a 4/4 in any context ever. It's if that is the only thing you can do, you've probably lost the game, right? Like if that's the only thing you're doing, you lose. It, I suppose, is okay, right? It's okay in the mirror where your opponent has Teferi and you can attack it in an annoying way, but still, I do like the Fountain Port Mirex. I actually don't have Fountain Port in here. You probably could play Fountain Port and not like destroy your own soul with it. I think that's fine. Fountain Port's all right. I'll give it that one. But I don't like the manlands. I think the manlands are completely awful. I think they're borderline unplayable. I mean, other than the fact that they're still just simply lands, which is fine, but I don't like them. You should not play them. There's so many countless matchups where they will never do anything except be a tapped land. And then you're like, oh, I wish I had an untapped land at this very turn for this very reason. But yeah, so I don't like those. But the ones that produce creatures, the castle, the Mirex, the Fountain Port, those are fine. I like those, especially in the mirror. You can just casually make 1/1s that will definitely cause a problem. So your opponent can't like ultimate Teferi or something, and you can, or whatever planeswalker thing they're trying to do. Again, this is super spearheaded into a few matchups where this matters. Not only are there only a few matchups where it matters, you also have to draw those cards in those matchups, and they also have to actually matter in that matchup. They don't always matter in that matchup. I really just don't like them. I don't think you should play them unless they're totally free. And I don't think they are. I don't think the tapped manlands are free. I think tapped lands are something you really want to avoid unless it's whatever that card is doing is good enough in other contexts. Like this is fine on both sides. This is an untapped plains, so it's fine even though the 3 damage side is not that exciting. I mean, it kills Katara, I guess, and Yuriko. Yuriko felt like an auto loss, by the way. I saw it a few times. Every single time I saw it, I mulliganed for an answer to the 1-drop. Didn't have it, lost the game. So Yuriko feels like a nightmare. Katara's probably not that different. I didn't see any Kataras. I would assume it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, that's a Teferi mirror. My opponent, maybe they just didn't feel like playing it, so they just cast a Teferi. It's like, all right, if it doesn't work, I'll move on. It's like, yeah, all right, that's fair, I guess. But the One Ring doesn't need the Mana Rock stuff, Paradox Engine. That's not really what this is about. You could probably put that in here. I don't think you have to. The extra turns are a bit weird because they only seem exceptional when Teferi's already in play. And if Teferi's already in play, then you're winning because you've probably untapped with it. And these matter way less. But I think these are maybe still kind of okay. Just because you can, like, I don't know. I don't know if these are right. The more I think about them, I'm not sure. Because, again, any card that you play specifically after Teferi's in play, and then it's doing the thing, is the worst card in your deck instantly. If this only matters when Teferi's in play and you've untapped with it, it is instantly the worst card in your deck. And I think these are teetering on the line of that. I suppose there's worlds where like you cast it, you have an extra land drop, and then you can dig through time with an extra card in your graveyard and have more lands in play, and you have another planeswalker, I guess. I mean, the same kind of logic applies to that, though. The One Ring is good with the extra turns, right? You draw 2, and then you draw 3 or something in the same, like, double turn cycle, but it specifically with Teferi, very unexciting cards here. They're also 5-mana sorcery speed spells, so you can't just rip them off whenever you choose. You have to, like, decide when to do that, and you can't just cast them instead of your commander in a spot where you think your commander is going to be countered, but this is not. You can't do that, right? Because if this gets countered, you're in the same scenario, even if it was your commander. You're tapped out, your opponent's going in their turn, and then they do something very bad, and you can't stop it because you're tapped out. So they don't even fill that role unless they were like 4 or less, and then, I mean, the cards would be kind of crazy. So I actually really don't think I like them. One card, though, I think I kind of like is Control Magic. Maybe. Also, the Frogifies, to some degree, could be good, too. The Drake that steals a commander is also something that's arguably interesting. It gives you play against the Katara Yuriko decks too, so this could actually just be a card to like actually play. Maybe. Again, Frogifies are all right. We have board wipes though. It's like, but Frogifies are okay. I mean I don't think the extra turns are that great. I really don't. Nexus of Fate is doing something radically different, so that can stay. The blue count, like blue card count, has to be somewhat healthy if you want to play Commandeer. And there was one game where I like took myself off of Commandeer where it otherwise might have actually won the game. So I think Commandeer is fine. Simply having free spells is just so insane that it doesn't matter how like niche the card is. It's just like if you ever get to cast this, it's just insane to just steal a spell. It's like just so gross. But some people don't play it. It is a steep requirement to cast it, but you get a spell back because you stole something, right? You stole a spell, so you kind of go back up a card. And sometimes that card just wins the game, right? I don't know. Commandeer feels like an auto include at this point. It really does. This doesn't defend Teferi, unfortunately, against counter spells, but it still counts as a negate. It still counts as a removal spell negate. 0 mana spell against removal, I guess, for Teferi. It's kind of okay. What else? I like this card. I'm glad I crafted it. I did like this. That was nice. I think it was good enough. You can do this for just 2 blue. 2 white. You don't have to do it for 3. It can be 0. If anyone didn't know that. It just goes on top of your opponent's deck, just like Subtlety. I like Condemn. I'm surprised I don't see more of this. I think I really like Condemn. This is the card that, if you ever play Path to Exile, or Erode, just play this instead. I'm surprised I don't see more of that card, honestly. Sunfall was weird. There's probably better sweepers than this. I didn't find anything that would make me really wish it exiled and then gave my opponent a token that's just annoying. So I think there's probably just better board wipes than that one. Cleansing Nova has play. We don't actually have mana rocks. So Nova, I think, actually started in this list, and well, now it's back. But speaking of mana rocks, without the mana rocks, you have a denser amount of things to do, right? More counter spells, more removal, more card draw. You just have more spells to cast that do stuff instead of I can get to Teferi slightly faster. I really think it's fine either way. I kind of prefer the no mana rock thing just because you have more games where like, I mean, I would say the games are slightly longer because of those, whether you just draw mana rocks and lose because you didn't draw anything else, or you got Teferi and play faster, so the game ended faster. The games do feel longer without mana rocks, but you just feel like you have more stuff going on instead of like two of my cards get me to Teferi faster, and then I need to play it and start drawing, but the other two cards in my hand are the counter spells, and I had to use them before, so now I don't have any cards in my hand. And then, like, I don't know. So I prefer no mana rocks. I think the proliferate on this is well worth it. I don't think other proliferate cards are worth it, though. Like, again, just like the extra turn spells, if it's only exceptional when Teferi is already in play, it's the worst card in your deck. This one at least draws a card before Teferi shows up and is, it's still a mana rock. It still is a mana rock. I think you can, for 5 mana, like you can play Teferi and then have staff. Like you plus Teferi goes to 5. Next turn, tap staff 6. Untap 7. Okay, no, you can't do that. I was gonna say you only have to plus Teferi 1 time ever, and then this does the rest. That's not true. You still have to plus twice. So paying 5 mana here is not that exciting. It doesn't matter if Teferi's alive after the ultimate. You'll almost always win if you ultimate Teferi, and arguably almost always win if you just simply untap with Teferi. I don't think that has changed. You really don't have to play Nexus of Fate, but man, do I love it. I did see some like Veil of Summer nonsense, and what else did I see? Mystical Dispute probably is just full stop playable and probably should be in here. I think Mystical Dispute probably is a real card, but Veil of Summer, man, some of those cards, I don't know. Like when you have a card that is completely dead in the wrong matchup, it feels really, really bad. You just have like you're just down a card, right? You're up against Zergo, apparently. Yeah, I saw a Zergo player, the 1 minute 2/2 Zergo, because Ragavan is banned. And I actually would have won if I didn't play, I tapped this and paid for life and died. But if I didn't do that, I actually would have won, so I don't even know why I did that, but it's funny. It's just Zergo in the command zone instead of Ragavan, still the same exact deck list. Yeah, I don't know, but it's Teferi, right? I've played it a bunch. Still top 3 commander for me ever. Love it. It's one of my favorite cards, actually, just in general. So, yep, that's that. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.